Hmm, what does hypnosis feel like? I'm Jesse Lewis. I'm a stage hypnotist since 2007, and I help people have great events all over the world. And in this video, we're going to talk about what hypnosis really feels like. Oh my gosh, what does hypnosis really feel like? Well, let's get right down to it. Hypnosis is different for absolutely everybody. That's right, absolutely everybody. We all experience hypnosis in different ways. Some of us get very relaxed, while other people may actually tense up. And I've seen this live on stage many, many times. Another thing about hypnosis is that, well, because it is a personal experience to everybody, is that not everyone experiences it in the same way. For instance, I want to tell you about one of the things that happens during hypnosis, and that is sometimes people will spontaneously cry. Now, it's not cry in a bad way, but because they're so relaxed, their cheeks let go and their tear ducts let go, and you'll see tears rolling down their face. Just from the experience of hypnosis, because they've finally allowed themselves to relax. So that's one thing that hypnosis is very, very relaxing. Now, that's a general clue of what hypnosis is. Now, a lot of people experience it different ways, and one of the things people say is that they feel detached, almost like they're daydreaming, listening to the hypnotist's voice, and they feel as if they're just floating there, looking down at their body sometimes. They feel detached and kind of not part of it at all, following the directions of the hypnotist, and that's pretty cool. Now, another thing that people experience during hypnosis is body temperature changes. That's right, body temperature changes. Isn't that weird? Some people will feel like they're getting warm, other people will feel like they're getting cold. And actually, that's one of the things that we can control when a person is in hypnosis. I've done it on stage many times where you do a skit called the hot and cold skit, where you get people to feel very hot and then you get them to feel very cold. And they act out on that instinct and of what's happening to them. Now, hypnosis, because it is different for everybody, it's really easy to experience, and there's really no set way to perform hypnosis. Whether it's on stage or in hypnotherapy, it doesn't really matter. It really is up to the skill of the hypnotist to distinguish where you're going in your hypnotic state. One of the things that we as hypnotists do is test for something called muscle catalepsy. This test is pretty simple. It's the eyes closed test. So you person would close their eyes, and the hypnotist would simply suggest that they cannot open their eyes in a very specific manner, and they're unable to open their eyes, or they're unable. The muscle catalepsy in the arms, they're unable to lift their arm from the chair, or the legs, unable to lift a leg up. And all this is really a test for the hypnotist to know exactly where that person is in hypnosis. Because if the hypnotist is able to achieve muscle catalepsy with you, if you're in a hypnotherapy room or on stage, that generally does mean that the person is hypnotized. Pretty amazing, right? It's amazing what people can actually do when they are in hypnosis. Another tool that hypnotists use, you'll see them often say 1, 2, 3, sleep, close your eyes. And the person will go, or 1, 2, 3, deeper relaxed. The person will go further and further relaxed. Now, the repeating of numbers and the word saying deep relaxed, what this is known as is fractionation. Sometimes, for instance, on stage, what I will say often is imagine a stairway. And imagine that stairway just continues going down forever. And then on the next breath you take in, I just want you to imagine taking a step down that stairway. This is the stairway of hypnosis and of relaxation. Just take a step, and with every breath you take from this point forward, it's just another step down that stairway. Now, all this is fractionation, and fractionation is amazing because the more suggestions you follow in hypnosis, the more you will follow while you're hypnotized. Isn't that amazing? And it compounds on itself. So that's how stage hypnotists like me get people to do things on stage. They fractionate and they get people to compound their suggestions, and then they do stuff on stage. So, I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope I've explained a little bit about what hypnosis is. And in the next video, I'm not sure what I'm going to cover, but I do want to thank you for coming. Wait, before we end off, I want you to actually experience a little bit of hypnosis. Can you do that with me? Do you want to do that with me? You don't have to follow along if you don't want to, but I'm going to actually teach you a hypno trick that you could even perform if you wanted to with anybody. Doesn't matter who it is. You could perform this with anybody. It's not actually hypnosis. It just feels and looks like hypnosis. So all you got to do is put your hands like this, put your fingers up like that. Make sure your thumbs are crossed at the back. And I want you to pull your index fingers apart about 1 inch. And I want you to imagine an elastic band, pulling them closer and closer together. The more you fight it, the more they're going to pull closer and closer together. The more you fight it, the more they pull. That's right, closer and closer with every breath you take. Holy cow, look at that. And I'm unable to move them. And this isn't really hypnosis. But if you're following the suggestions, I guarantee it worked for you because it's impossible for it not to. Now, let your hands go, obviously. All this is actually your muscle tension happening. And that's all it is. Your muscle tension pulls them closer together. And the stronger you are, generally the worse it's going to be. So it will come together the longer you do it. And you can actually do that with your friends. It's not actual hypnosis. But hypnosis is kind of like that, where you're fully aware, you just don't care about what's going on. That's kind of how this works as well, the light and heavy hand test. And I'll teach you that in one of the upcoming videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the other side. My name is Jesse Lewis, and if you need great entertainment for your events, please make sure you contact me over at hypnotistjesselewis.com.